last one we want to talk about, Josh Dobbs, our rocket scientist. Shout out to the homie Dobbs. But let us know in the chat, man. 3 things that you like about Josh Dobbs' game. 3 things that you like about him, all right?
You do yours. I'm not like prepared. So I'll just riff off anything.
Yeah, that's
you
cool.
say.
That's cool. Yeah, because like I said, I know the main 2 were gonna be Haskins and Mason, obviously. But Dobbs, I do feel like we'll talk about why I think he should be in the conversation. But for me, the 3 things I like about him, number 1 is his smarts. In terms of it was decorated. It was talked about this year in terms of the past couple years, actually. When Ben comes off the field, he doesn't go to the offensive coordinator because obviously he's up in this booth. He wasn't going over to talk to Mason. He wasn't going over to talk to Haskins. He wasn't going over to talk to the O-line.
He's going to think Canada's going to stab him in the back. That's why.
The only person only person that Ben would go to talk to when he would come off the field was Josh Dobbs in a similar manner to what he would do with Charlie Batch. Being a guy that has shared the locker room with Josh Dobbs, in terms of his football IQ, man, dude's elite smart. He knows the game. And just in general, dude's literally a rocket scientist. Like, I know one. I do. Okay. So for me, that's the first part. I love his smarts. The second thing, I love his mobility. I think that in terms of, running style and stuff like that, he has the most mobility, and it's not close comparing him to Haskins and Mason. So I love that. But then I also feel like under Matt Canada currently, he fits the best right now. When you talk about the dual threat, when you talk about being able to run some of these things, these concepts that are Matt Canada concepts, and clearly the team does like Matt Canada enough that they want to move forward with him. So if that is the case, Dobbs is a guy that fits that perfectly. So that's the third thing I like about Dobbs, man. Yeah.
Okay. So what do you got for... do we want to read any of the chats?
Or do you want me to do... Because those are my 3 likes.
Yeah, just go dislikes then.
Okay. Well, you just keep the time good. All right.
Yeah.
The 3 things that I don't like about him, obviously, or not obviously, but the 3 things I don't like about him, his arm talent. I don't think it's as elite as Mason or as Haskins. I think it can be... a little inconsistent at times as well in terms of the power and the pop and how lively it is. I think he has good touch, but the pop, it's kind of like when we talked about Duck.
Yeah.
We said, man, Duck's placement was really good, but sometimes it just doesn't have that cannon. And with Dobbs at times, I don't feel like he has that to the extent that I would like it to be as it is in contrast to the other guys. His experience. Has he had moments? Sure. But outside of a Raiders game where he came in for a quarter and a half, I don't even know if he got any regular season action in Jacksonville.
I don't think he did.
So it's like, in terms of NFL experience, regular season game experience, he doesn't have.
And very limited preseason too. You think of this preseason, he was coming in basically end of fourth quarter.
But every preseason he's been here, he's been in the second seat to somebody else, whether it was Landry Jones, whether it was Mason Rudolph. So for him, the experience factor is very, very, needing to grow, needing more of it. And then the last thing that I don't like about him is, like I said with the other 2 guys, the consistency part. When we watch him, even in some of those preseason games, he'll have moments where it's like, he's looking good. He's looking like, he's a playmaker. He's a gamer. He's gritty. He can figure it out. But then it's like, man, you'll miss on some throws. You'll hold the ball too long. And we're just like, why is that? And that goes back to the consistency part, because he just hasn't had a ton of experience, a ton of reps at this level. But to me, that is a negative for me as it pertains to him.
Yeah. And my sentiments on Dobbs. I got nothing against him. I've just kind of considered him an afterthought in this QB battle, even for the backup last year. Now, I even feel the same way. Now, you see a flash or 2 in preseason, but literally at the same time, in the back of my mind, I'm thinking, dude, these are against second, third, and fourth stringers.
Mm-hmm.
The Raiders game really hits home to me. I don't know what it is about that one. Maybe it gets me in my feelings because that season was a lost season. We should have won that. But that was just a really bad performance. I don't want to put it all on him completely because that's the kind of a tough spot. But I've just never really seen that much from Josh Dobbs that I would even consider him over, not consider over, but have him as a legitimate threat in this competition. Yeah. To Mason or Haskins.
No, I could dig that, man.
But yeah. You do see the athletic flashes, the running ability, but no, not too much from my standpoint in terms of him versus the other 2.